Keith Speaking Academy, and it's great to see you. How are you today? Great, good. Thank you for joining me today. Today, very exciting. We're going to be looking today at IELTS Speaking Part 1 topics. We're going to be looking at different topics, some kind of vocabulary, maybe some idioms, some questions and answers, and how we can help each other to speak more confidently on these different topics, focusing specifically on Part 1. Lovely, very excited. Nice to be here. Who's in the house today? Arda, I think you're first in. welcome. Dildora from Istanbul, hello there. Shelley Elizabeth, hi, waving. Are you a ballet dancer, Shelley? Who else is here? Singi Shilpa, hello there. Shakun, nice and early, good to see you. Annie Tijo, hello, nice to see you. Ying Jing Fu, hello there. Facebook, guys, of course, I can't see your names, so I do apologise if I can't say hello. Some of you I can. Niati, hello. Dildora, hello. Great. Oh, right, so some Facebook names I can see, some I can't. Carmelina, nice to see you. Brilliant. So really exciting. We're going to get right into some Part 1 topics. Let me just put this up so it's clear. Part 1 topics today. And of course, as always, right, if you are on YouTube, then please do subscribe to the channel. Turn on the notification buttons so you can find out about more videos coming up. Just to let you know as well, this Saturday's video is also going to be on IELTS Speaking Part 1 topics. So there'll be some interesting stuff there. Keep an eye out. Keep an eye out. Keep an eye out. What an interesting expression, meaning watch or look out for. Keep an eye out for Saturday's video, which will be more Part 1 topics. Great. Get you ready for your IELTS speaking test. I wonder, is anybody taking the test in the coming days? Possibly. Let's see. Delio, hello there. Hi. Manpreet, evening, 5 o'clock. Great. Time for a cup of tea, Manpreet. It's my morning tea. Maybe you can have an afternoon tea, a high tea like the Queen does. Nice cup, eh? Lovely. Ashraf, hello. David Michelon, nice Italian living in Uzbekistan. Lasagna lover like myself. Great. I am a big fan of making, cooking and eating lasagna and sharing with others. Great. Celine has subscribed and hit the bell. Well done. Great. Good. So that's it. Just to let you know as well, if you're interested in more resources, go and visit the website, the Keith Speaking Academy. All of the notes from today's class go onto the website later in the afternoon. So you can always go there and find out all the stuff that you need from the website. In fact, I can just show you very, very simply where it all is so you know where to go. So if you go and visit Keith Speaking Academy, just go and click on the free live lessons, right? And that is where you can find all of the all of the stuff, all of the downloadables are here. If you want to kind of get a list of the topics, you can also click on this button and that will take you to the topics, vocabulary. So it just gives you a list of the topics and you can go and click and get the information online. Great. It's all there. IELTS Keith Speaking Academy, keithspeakingacademy.com. Lovely. Good. Now then, today, first of all, let's begin. What are we going to begin? Let's begin with this thing over here. Let's begin. Lovely. So listen, I got a message the other day, a very, very nice message from Navreet. And Navreet says, Keith, I bought your course around 7 to 8 months ago, and I watched almost all of your YouTube videos. Oh my God, all of the videos. That's like over 100 videos. To be honest, you're one of the best IELTS teachers I have ever come across. Oh, that's lovely. With your course and videos, I scored 7, 7, 7, 8. Wow, 8 in speaking. So thank you so much. Love from Punjab, India. Navreet, I'm very, very happy to hear that. Thank you, and delighted that it could help you on your IELTS journey. That's lovely. So today, let me clear up some space. We're talking about part 1 topics. I'm going to begin with some tips on part 1, right? So some very, very simple tips. In part 1, this is probably the most important tip, actually. It's your mindset. It's the way you're thinking about the test. A lot of people get nervous in the test. They get nervous before the test. And that really affects their speaking and their performance. So, excuse me, my suggestion is the following, is try and look forward to the test. Try and think, I'm going to enjoy the test. Imagine that you have chosen to go to the test, right? Not that, oh, I don't want to do it, but like you've chosen to go to the cinema to watch a film. You've chosen to go to the IELTS test, and start thinking, wow, I'm looking forward to this. This is going to be great. I'm going to enjoy this. Like you're going to enjoy the film at the cinema, I'm going to enjoy the test. And that very small change up here has a big influence on your body, your energy, and can really help you settle in and relax into the test. Try it and see. But I found for me in this kind of situation, that simple switch, I'm going to enjoy this, right? That can really be very powerful and very, very helpful. So that's my first and probably most important tip. Another tip is, in part 1, just remember that your answers should be short but developed a little bit. I would say 10 to 20 seconds. Some people say 2 to 3 sentences. Well, yes, but it depends how fast you speak. And it depends how long your sentences are. But I think more in terms of time, like 10 to 20 seconds. And when you're practicing, time yourself with a stopwatch to speak for 20 seconds. It can be longer than you think, actually. Now, of course, the examiner will cut you off. They always cut you off. That is normal. Don't worry about that, right? Doesn't mean anything. They're just moving on to a different topic. So remember, answers quite short, but develop them a little bit. The other thing in your practice is I suggest you focus on topics rather than questions. Like today, so I'm calling this part 1 topics, not part 1 questions. I'm not going to go through every question for each topic because I don't think that helps. In fact, it's almost negative, because what happens is when you see the questions, you prepare your answer for that question. And then in the test, you sound a bit robotic because you've got a prepared answer. And that's not good. It's not good. The test is your ability to speak naturally. So you can memorize phrases, but not whole answers. And another problem is if the questions are a little bit different, your prepared answer might not be the right one. It might not fit. And the examiner might get confused, but they'll understand you've prepared a different question and they've changed the question a bit. Or somebody has told you the question is a bit different. So I think it's much better to focus on topics rather than the questions. That's what we'll do today, right? We will look at topics, we'll look at vocabulary, we'll be asking each other questions and answers, but don't get obsessed with the questions, right? Think more about topics. Great. The other thing to mention with questions as well is there are 5 or 6 general kinds of questions that always come up, right? So if the topic is, let's say, cooking, very often the questions are, do you do it? Are you good at it? Did you do it as a child? Have you ever cooked? Will you cook in the future? Right? Very often you get the same questions. Do you? Have you ever? Did you? Will you? Right? Testing, of course, the tenses. So you don't need to get too worried about the different questions. By the way, if you haven't seen this, then this is on the website. This is free. It's available for you. It's a very, very simple ebook and course. There's an audio as well, Crack IELTS Speaking Part 1. It's on my website. You can go and get it for free. And this actually does that. It looks at the questions. What are the 6 common questions you get? And how do you answer them? And here it just goes through different kind of vocabulary or tenses you may want to look at in order to try and answer. And you can listen to the audio so that you can get the pronunciation right. You can do lots of practice, and you can do that when you're on the train, on the bus, not in the shower. You can't. Well, maybe you can listen in the shower. Just don't put your headphones in the shower. But maybe, right, you're going to be listening when you're at home or walking around. I love listening to my podcasts when I'm walking around. So you can download that on the website, right? Dead easy. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you where it is first, just to make sure you can get it. So if you go to the website, go to the test button over here, and it's there. Crack Part 1. Right, this is the Keith Speaking Academy, and it's just there, and you can find all that information right there. There's the book and there's the audio. Great, so that's easy. Maybe I should just put this, yes, let me try and put this into the chat box. I'm not actually in on the chat box, but I'm going to try and get in my own chat box. Not an easy thing to do. Bear with me, just one moment. I think I can. Wait a moment. This is where it goes funny, because I find I'm watching myself. There you go. There's the link. Straight into the chat box. Hunky-dory. Lovely. Good. So, how are you all doing? Yeah. Yo-ya Asami, look out for the cars if you're listening to podcasts. Absolutely. Great. Yingjing Fu is moving on Saturday. Good luck with your move. Excellent. How to have a calm voice like you, says Danielle. Well, my voice, I think I was born with it. But I have trained my voice. I have done some radio work. And I guess as a teacher, you train your voice. I had a singer who taught me how to sing from the abdomen and bring your voice up into a very, very dark, so the voice comes out through the top of your head, and to project when giving presentations. So a bit of training, but a bit of nature, I think, Danielle. Great, good to see you. Decemra, good to see you. Karine, Grace, thank you, you're welcome. Great. Nazmul from Bangladesh, nice to see you. Cornelia as well, great. And from Kazakhstan, is that? Nice to see you. Emma as well. Lovely, good. And the Mona Chalabi news anchor. Lovely, nice to see you here as well. Brilliant. Right, so guys, I'm going to move on. Right. Ankle. Good question. Ankle Tanner. In a session from the British Council with regards to the video speaking session, they mentioned we must cover each bullet point from the cue card. And I suggest that's not mandatory. I don't think you have to cover every card because the evaluation criteria is nothing about task achievement. You don't need to cover every point. And what's more, the examiners don't tend to focus on covering the bullet points. They're listening to your language. So they can be a great guide, but no, you don't have to cover them all, right? Nice question. Okay, lovely. So, where are we? We're going to begin, right? Let's get straight into the first topic I would like to look at. I'm going to turn this off because we all know it's part one topics. I think we all know. So, I'm going to look at, first of all, concentration and focus, the topic of concentrating, focusing on something. Now, for me, right, if I'm working, because I actually work from home, right? This is a house, this is a room or a flat. This is where I live and this is where I work at the moment. So I do get distracted, and I get distracted by lots of things. For example, I get distracted by noises, ambulances in the street, loud traffic going across the street. When I used to work in an office, I got distracted by interruptions by co-workers. More often than not by my boss. The biggest distractor is your boss, right? Who comes over, starts chatting. How's it going? I mean, some bosses are great, right? But some bosses can be distracting. Loud music, I get distracted by loud music. Background TV, you know, if I'm in somebody's house or in a restaurant and they've got the background TV, oh, I hate that. It's so annoying. That really distracts me and I can't concentrate, right? So these are things that distract me. And the language I might use to talk about this could be the following, right? I get distracted by noises. I get distracted. It's a difficult word. Say it with me. Distracted. Distracted. It's got a lot of consonant clusters. The distracted. I get distracted by noises. Or my mind, right, tends to wander. To wander is to walk. My mind tends to wander when I hear loud noises. So, for example, when I hear, let's say, when I hear loud noises, or when there are loud noises. For example, my mind tends to wander. Lovely expression. My mind tends to wander. We can also say, we can also use the computer properly. We can also say, I can't keep focused when I hear loud noises. I can't keep focused. Keep focused. Now, this is interesting, right? The keep focused. The keep, we don't say keep focused because the p and the th are so close. Listen what I do. We keep focused. So the p doesn't explode. It's keep focused. Keep focused. I can't keep focused. Can you see that? I'm getting close to the camera. I can't keep focused. Don't get so close to the camera, Mr. O'Hare. So that's nice language. I can't keep focused when there is background TV. Or it's a challenge to focus. It's a challenge to focus. Notice the to, right, becomes t because of the stress. We don't stress to, we stress challenge and focus. It's a challenge to focus. The to becomes just a t, right? It's almost just a t. Challenge to focus. It's a challenge to focus. I'm doing that to mark the stress. It's a challenge to focus. Right? Nice. Good. It's a challenge to focus when blah, 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 blah. When there is background TV or when I hear ambulances in the street. And a lovely expression, I have a short attention span, right? I have a short attention span, which means you cannot focus for a long time. Lots of young people nowadays have a very, very short attention span. I guess things like TikTok, Instagram Reels, the speed of getting information and entertainment into us means that we're 15 seconds, boom, and we're finished. That's it. We can't focus any longer. But that's it, right? These are some expressions. Let's see how you're doing. Ahmed, yes, you can see this live after. It will be sitting in the YouTube channel. Keith, please take my name, Arshad, Sayed Arshad. When you say take your name, you mean to speak out your name or to change my name from Keith to Arshad? I think that might confuse my branding, Arshad. Great. Where is the part 1 link in the chat box? I don't know, guys. I'll let you find that. T Cool, good afternoon from Hong Kong. Nice to see you. Great. What else have we got? People from Uzbekistan. There's a lot there. Does shadow speaking help, Bihan? Yes, I think it does. I think it's a great thing to do. Good afternoon. Okay, so here, great. I'm going to ask you then, what distracts you? What distracts you? Let me know, right? Give me a comment below. Ada says, it's a challenge to focus when my brother shouts loudly. I can imagine. Make sure you get the S, right? Just on the shouts. Samim says, I got distracted when I saw her toxic gaze. Oh my. Oh my. Who are you talking about? Great. Rania says, I get distracted by train sounds. Interesting. Yes. Right. This is a nice expression. I'm a stickler for silence. A stickler, you mean, right? Shakun, great. A stickler. I'm assuming this is what you mean. I'm a stickler for silence. I'm a stickler for something means that I insist on that. I must have that, right? I'm a stickler for hard work, right? I must have hard work. I want hard work from me and from other people. I'm a stickler for silence means you like silence and you want silence. Great expression. Let me add that on. I'm a stickler. Thank you, Shakun. That's great. I'm a stickler for silence in your case, but you could say anything, right? I'm a stickler for da-dee-da-dee-dee-dee-dee-doo. Nice. Lovely. What else have we got? Yes. An akanksha. I can't keep focused due to construction work outside my house. Lovely. Very, very nice. It's a challenge to focus when I saw irrelevant ads on the website. Oh my, oh my. Yes, I absolutely agree. Those ads are very, very distracting, right? Great. Anissa, I get distracted by my parrots. Brilliant. Then let them fly away, Anissa. Harvinder, I get distracted by mobile notifications. Right. Do you know what I do, Harvinder? I turn off all of my notifications, all of them, except my WhatsApp from the family. That's the only one I have. All of them, just turn them off. Turn them off if they distract you. Namita says, I get distracted during my studies by any kind of noise. Actually, I need pin drop silence for my studies. Pin drop silence. That's very creative. I love that, Namita, because we say in English, it was so quiet, you could hear a pin drop, right? A pin. I haven't got any pins, but a pin like to stick things on the wall. It was so quiet, you could hear a pin drop. I need pin drop silence. That is lovely, creative language, Namita. Brilliant. Great. Great, great, great. Right. Sanu, sir, what to speak when you don't know the answer? Well, when you don't know the answer, what does that mean when you don't know the answer? Because remember, the test is not testing your knowledge of the answer. The test is testing your language. So you could say anything. You could say anything at all. so long as it's related to the question, right? I mean, if they say, do you cook? Well, I don't cook, but my wife loves cooking, right? You're just speaking. There's no correct answer or right or wrong answer. So answer the question, but if you have no idea what to say, just say something. Do not go quiet. Don't go silent. So silent you can hear a pin drop. Don't go silent. Say something, right? For example, to be honest, I've never thought about that, and I really don't know what to say. That's because the examiner will still grade your English. Present perfect, I have never thought about that. Great. That's so there is no right and wrong answer. So just speak out. Say something. Say something. Isn't that a song? I think that's a song. Say something. I'm giving up on you. That's the one. Now. Great. I'm going to move on. What distracts you? If we talk about focus, we can talk about not being not distracted, but being able to focus. We can say it's easy to focus. Or I have no trouble at all focusing, right? I have no trouble at all. This you can leave out, but you can put in to emphasize. I have no trouble focusing. I have no trouble at all focusing. I have no trouble focusing at all. Could go at the end, right? So we talk about to keep focused on something, or to stay focused on, right? Make a note of this because I am going to test you at the end of the class. So it's to stay focused on your goals. We also have the expression to set my mind to something. If I set my mind, it means I focus on something and I persist and continue doing it until I finish or until I do it well. So I'm going to learn how to play the piano. I've decided. I've set my mind to learning the piano. I'm going to practice every day. I've set my mind to learning Russian. I've got a teacher. I've got an online course. I've set my mind to learning Russian. I'm going to practice every day. Right? Good. It's not true. Sorry. It's not true. I would love to learn Russian, but I haven't started yet. I haven't set my mind to it yet. Watch this space. Okay. So nice expressions there. I would like to ask you then, how do you focus? How do you concentrate? I mean, whether you're working or doing your hobbies, how do you focus? Let's have a look. I mean, call my name. Arshad. Hello. Syed Arshad. Hello. Great. 1, 2, 3. Mohanwa from Sri Lanka. Nice to see you. So let's see if we've got any answers to that question, right? How do you focus and concentrate? Yes. Guys, as well to remember, don't worry. There are so many comments. I cannot answer everybody. And I know some of you put your comment in 20, 30 times, and it must be really frustrating. And you're thinking, come on, Keith, can't you see? Don't put your comment in 30 times because they go so fast. It really is random how I choose them. But I will try my best, obviously. So let's see what we do. Marina, I do yoga exercises. Great. That's an interesting spelling of yoga. I think it's with a Y, right? I do yoga exercises. Somebody here says, I turn blind eyes toward all distractions. That's lovely. It's lovely. It needs to change a little bit because we actually put it in the singular. I know you've got 2 eyes, right? But it's in the singular. I turn a blind eye towards all distractions. So you've got 1 eye, right? So if I turn a blind eye, I cannot see. It's just 1 eye, not like that, because you need 1 eye to focus on the other thing. I turn a blind eye towards or to. Great. Nice. And Little Jewel says, I've set my mind to master my skills in practicing using idiomatic expressions, and you are doing a fantastic job, Little Jewel. Yes, this is a good one. My son's teacher said he has been caught absent-minded during class. Yeah, absent-minded, daydreaming. Absent-minded is more of a personality rather than a behavior. He is absent-minded. Although you can be absent-minded in class, it could be a behavior. Yes. Nice. Good, Celine. Somebody else says, I need total silence in order to focus. Jasmina, I think about things which I want to learn. Nice. Rano, I don't listen to music. Right, I'll just add that to make sure it's clear. I don't listen to music in order to focus. Notice the t. I don't listen to music in order to focus on something. And on the contrary, Hamid Reza, sometimes I used to hearing music to keep my mind focused on doing something. Your grammar is almost perfect, Hamid Reza, almost. Sometimes I used to hearing music. How would I say that? Because you've got sometimes. I don't think that matches. Sometimes I used to hearing music. I would say, right, I'm used to hearing music to keep my mind focused. But I would actually take out sometimes because it doesn't quite fit. I'm used to hearing music to keep my mind focused. That, I think, is a bit better. But lovely. Thank you very much for sharing. Great. Chinmay, by meditating or doing the thing which excites you the most. Lovely. Vijeta as well. I keep my eye on the ball by meditating. That's lovely expression. Keep my eye on the ball by meditating. And David says, I focus by keeping a clear mind. Excuse me. Nice. Trung says, I can hardly focus for a long time, so I often break the time down into a 15-minute period. I break the time down. Lovely. Very, very, very nice. That's great. Lovely. I like it. Some really nice ideas there. We've talked a lot about concentration, right? And all those different things. What's next? What's after concentration? After concentration, we've got Badab-shee-be-doo-be-doo-be-doo-be, bum bum bum. My funny jingle. I do enjoy my funny jingles, as I'm sure you know. To help keep me focused. I use jingles to keep me focused. Next, we're going to move on to a different topic. I'm going to talk about museums. Right? Museums. It's an interesting topic. So let me have a look. Different kinds of museums. There are many different kinds of museums. I'm just going to slide down the screen. As you can see, right, history of the museums. I think actually, yes, let me show you this link. If we look at this link, it talks about the history of museums, different types of museums. You can go on the internet and find lots of types of museums, right? We've got archaeology museums. There are art museums, also basically an art gallery. I didn't know this. Encyclopedic museums, I've never heard of that before. History museums, yes, I've heard of that, obviously. Collect objects and artifacts, that's a nice word, artifacts. Those are the objects in the museum. Now, I've kind of heard of this, living history museums. Type of museum in which historic events are performed by actors. Wow. Right, I don't think I've never seen that before, but sounds interesting. Maritime museums I know, because we have one in my town here. That's displaying the history of the sea. Mar is the sea. So related to the sea. There's lots. There's military, mobile, there's all sorts of museums, right? Now, my point is, with all of these, just a minute. My point is, with all of these different kinds of museums, you don't need to learn a list of 10 museums. And most of all, don't go into the exam. And if they say, do you like museums? Oh, yes, I like archaeological museums, maritime museums, living history museums, pop-up museums. But don't do that. Don't just give a list, because that's not really showing off your language or natural language. And some of those the examiner may never have heard of. Encyclopedic Museum? Never heard of it. So it's much better, right? I think, in my humble opinion, choose one or two to talk about, right? Just choose one or two and focus on those. So maybe you talk about a maritime museum. You know, do you like museums? Yes. Yes, I do enjoy going to the museum. In fact, we have a maritime museum in the city where I live. I've been there a couple of times. It was really interesting. I learnt a lot about the sea. Right? Complex language? No, not really. Good language? Yes. Great language. Great tenses, great connectors, great flow. Good, right? So you don't need the complex, the technical language of museums. You need the natural English. That's my message. My message in a bottle. So different kinds of museums. Some expressions you may want to say, right? The museums cater to different audiences. Now, this is nice, right? To cater to means that they provide services. They cater to different audiences. So really, it just means they attract or provide services, really, for different audiences. So in my city, in London, there's lots of museums and they all cater to different audiences. Or they provide for different audiences. The same idea, right? They provide for certain audiences or special audiences. In my city, there are a lot of museums. They aim to attract different kinds of public. They try to attract different kinds of public. So again, public, audiences, all of this useful vocabulary, right? Notice the pronunciation. Audiences. Not ow, but or, like O-R. Audiences. Audience, singular. Plural, audiences. Make sure you get the sis. Audiences. Nice, good. So yes, some museums aim to attract children. I think the science museums often cater to children because they have lots of different activities, so they cater to children. Some universities provide for some museums provide for university students, right? They're focused on that kind of specialized research. So different types of museums. Yes, I think these are the most common, in my opinion, right? Art museums, history museums, science museums. They cater to young children sometimes. They have lots of experiential activities. Maritime museums, right, provide for people living on the coast. War museums, they aim to attract maybe the older people, maybe. And of course, we've got now virtual museums are becoming very popular, right? Some useful vocabulary I think we can be using on this topic. Artifacts. You may have seen the word with an I. That's the American spelling. In British spelling, it's with an E. Artifacts are the objects, right? Objects in a museum. I'll just put that down. Objects in a museum. And I'll turn around my smiley face. Nice. Add a space. So artifacts are any objects in a museum, generally speaking. They can teach us about the past. Art objects, that's particularly for art galleries. Works of art, you can also say. Experiences, this is the new fashion. A lot of the science museums, right, they often experiences. So for the children to come in, instead of reading about, I don't know, about radiation or about stars, they show them some moons and stars and planets, and they can touch them and they can turn them and they can throw them at each other. They can do things, right? These are experiences which I think are becoming more and more popular in museums. We have guides, right? You can have an in-person guide, or you can have an audio guide. Do you remember audience? Well, audio. Audio guides are very popular. Exhibitions are displays. Displays is more the individual piece. The exhibition is larger, is all of the things that they're showing. So maybe you have an exhibition on modern art, but you have a display of a Goya painting or a Picasso painting. Right, all useful language. Let me catch up with you. I've lost track with you. Where are you? Right, planetary museums attract the attention of school children. Oh, this is interesting. Wax museums. There's the famous wax museum in London, right? And in some other cities now. There's the Madame Tussauds. I don't know much about wax museums. Dilpreet says, I like science, war, and virtual museums. Great. Right, good. What do you mean by donkey's years? It means a long time. Catherine, what about if I'm not into museums? Then, as I said before, don't go silent. Don't go silent. Just say, I'm not into museums. In fact, I've never been to a museum. But surely when you were a kid, right, you must have gone to a museum at school, right? So you could say, I don't like museums. I find them a bit boring. I would love to go to a museum, and maybe in the future I will have a chance to. That's fine. Yep. I have never been to. I would love to. Maybe I will go to. Look at that. 3 tenses in that short, and that's when you're not into museums. Brilliant. So just do that. We've also got Beverly. Yes, nice. Experience, or we can say to have an interaction. Yes, it is right. Very, very good. Yes. Curators, that's a nice word. So the curators, I'm not sure if you'll get that in part 1, but you might do. So the curators are the people who assemble. Assemble, is that the best word? Who assemble the works of art. Let's say choose, maybe. Yeah, the curators. Nice. That's a lovely word. Curators. Lovely. Anissa, I'm not a big fan of museums. That's fine. Just talk about why you don't like them. Because they're boring. I don't learn anything. I find them old-fashioned. Yeah, good 'em. Madame Tussauds. Not spelt like that, I'm afraid. But you can look it up. This is interesting. I live in a small museum in my house. I wonder if you're being metaphorical, like your house is full of old stuff that you never throw out. Or maybe that actually your house is a museum. Maybe it is. I don't know. Nice. Larry, I do love art museums. Ida, I hate the topic of museums. Ida, change your mindset. Do you remember what I said at the very beginning of class? Change your mindset. I love this topic, right? And I'm going to say something about it. I like art museum. Now, this is brilliant, Avista. It's brilliant because you've given me an opportunity to explain something. A lot of people say, I like art museum, right? Now, you should because you're talking generally, you should put it in the plural, right? I like art museums, right? You can only say the singular if they say, I like this art museum. I like that art museum. But because you're talking generally, you must use the plural. I like art museums. It's a very, 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 very common mistake. And thank you so much, Avista, for sharing that with us, because that is really, really useful for everybody. Okay, great. So on that note about museums, let's have a look. I've got a question for you. Where's my question? Here's a question for you. And I'm going to show you this in a moment. But here's the first question. Where is it? Come back. It's gone. Oh. Are museums a good idea? Are they a good idea? There is a lot of controversy around museums, actually. Some people think they are a good idea. Are museums a good idea? What do you think? Leave me a note. Let me know. Good, good, good. Interesting. Interesting. Good. Right, I'm going to pick out some. I'm just checking. So, are museums a good idea? Now, well, yeah, Dilpreet Hart Singhboy, you're giving a list of lots of museums. Remember, we probably don't need those. Don't focus so much on the list. What have we got? Are they a good idea? Ah, nice. I can't find any answers. Okay, here we go. Regina. Personally, I think museums are a good idea, especially the historical part of it. Lovely. Nice. Very, very good. Personally, good connector. Mital, also good connector. It seems to me, I reckon that it's a good idea because it provides opportunities to common people to know more about history and facts about the past. About the past, right? We talk about the past because it's a specific past. Nice, very good. Yes, I think museum is a good idea. Do you remember? It's the same problem. Everybody does this, right? I think museum, it's generally speaking, I think museums, right? Museums are a good idea as they help us, right? Can you see that, everybody? I think museums are a good idea as they help us understand the kind of things people use. Brilliant, very nice answer. Just everybody really focus on your grammar here. Yes, absolutely, as gives us knowledge about the history and culture. Right, you're typing so fast. We've got RPM, online store. I wonder what you sell. I like museums, especially history museums. I reckon that it's a must to discover and know better about history. Personally, I visit museums every time I visit a new city. Lovely. Very, very, very nice and very accurate. Like it, yes. I think museums are good since they preserve hardships in the past. Nice, Enma. Nice. Yes, I think museum is a great way to teach the future generations. Yep. Same thing. I'm just going to correct it and then you'll all realize. Yes, I think museums are a great way to teach future generations. Okay, brilliant, nice. There is, again, I was looking at this idea and there was this link about visiting a museum. And sometimes, like some of you say, it's just a matter of, I don't know what to say. I don't have any ideas. What do you do if you don't have any ideas? Put the question into Google and see what comes up. And I found this one, which I thought was interesting. 10 reasons to visit a museum. Museums make you feel good. Museums make you smarter. Museums provide an effective way of learning, right? Notice the grammar here is good, as it should be. It's in the plural, right? Museums. What else? It says museums are community centres. It's interesting. Community, yeah, museums can be community centres. They inspire. They help bring change and development to communities. So there's a lot of stuff there. You can go and have a look. Again, then I'll put the link in the notes at the end, but I'll also just pop it into the chat there if you can find it in the chat. If you want more information about museums, that is a very interesting article to read. And it's simple, but full of nice language, nice natural language. Now then, talking about museums briefly, I asked a lot of students. No, I didn't ask a lot of students. I invited my Facebook group students. And by the way, if you're not on Facebook, come and join the group, right? It's Keith's mastermind community for IELTS Speaking. Come and find us on Facebook. So I asked some students why you like museums, or to finish the sentence, I like museums because, and then tell me more about it. And I wanted to hear the language and see what people said. So I'd like to share with you what some of the students said about museums, right? And you might find this very, very interesting. Let's see what students have said about museums, right? So remember that the line I asked them was, finish the sentence, I like museums because blah, 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 right? Now, give me a moment, give me a tick, because I have to get this downloaded because my Apple computer loves taking things I'm about to use and putting them in the cloud without my permission. Right. Let's watch together. Let's have a look.
I like museums because they parade the rich culture of a place through paintings, sculptures, and other works of art.
I like museums because it helps us to learn the things that had been extinct.
I like museums because museums represent the history of a nation, and people can learn lessons from the history and from the past.
Well, I like museums because I love to explore history and ancient cultures.
Museums are important as they preserve the history and heritage of the country as well as the community. It's like you do time travel and you go back to the past and see all the things that were there back then.
I like museums because they can be both enjoyable and educational at the same time. We can also learn and explore different things in a very interesting way.
I like museums because it provides us an overview of how people lived in the past compared to these days.
I like museum because it collects and preserves our cultural and historical values. And I reckon it's really entertainment too.
I like museums because it conserves and preserves the things that has meaningful value in one place or community.
I like museums because they're educational and usually really interesting.
I like museums because there's a lot of statues from the past. I'd love to learn about them. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I like museums because I do like history and heritage. Without history, honestly, we don't know where we came from. And we can't see where we're going without understanding where we've been, I believe.
Well, to be honest, I'm a big fan of arts, and museum is a place where a plethora of artworks, including the artifacts and the sculptures, are displayed.
I like museums because they provide me an effective way of learning.
I like museum because I'm a great fan of culture and I'm curious about old and ancient civilizations.
I like museums because they are not only interesting and informative, but also allow me to learn various unknown facts about my country.
Museum has me spellbound. I would love to learn history in these heritage sites and also explore different historical views in this museum at the same time.
I was always intrigued by museums because I feel they are really an interesting way of learning cultures and history. It's just like visiting the past.
I like museums because visiting them helps me expand my horizons. On top of that, I feel like I stand on the shoulders of giants.
I like museums because their uniqueness and historical from the past to the future.
Oh, fantastic. Great. Thank you very much, guys. That was really appreciated. A big thank you to all of you who participated, especially the youngest IELTS student ever, Noah. Well done, young man. That was great. I really enjoyed that. And I really, I admire how brave you were to put yourself in front of the camera, to speak out. And it was lovely. There was some lovely language, some really nice answers. And I think what's more important is you've given, I think, maybe inspiration to other people to do it as well. If Noah, who must be 9 years old, or I don't know, 11, if he can do it, surely we can all do it. So thank you very much, you guys. So those guys all came through the Facebook group. If you're on Facebook, you can join the group. Just look up, do the Facebook search for this group and come and join us. And it's a great opportunity, I think, to do this kind of activity and to share our learning together and to learn with each other. Yes, interesting. Some of you say, why do they all like museums? Because I said, send me a video beginning with, I like museums because. So they had no choice. They had to say, I like museums because. To show you that even though you don't like museums, you can still say something. You can make things up. But anyway, yes, good. Moving on. Let us move swiftly on from museums. Thank you very much, all of you. I'm going to move on to the next little topic. And what is the next little topic? Ba-dab-shee-be-doo-be-doo-be-doo-be, bum-bum-bum. Yeah. The next topic is this one, right? Oh, by the way, I've written out all of the things that you've said. I've written out, made the corrections, so it's all perfect English, and that will go into the notes. So those of you who did the video, you can go and check any mistakes you made. They're all here, and that's a nice group of expressions. But we're going to move on. Next, handwriting. Handwriting and also texting. This is kind of two topics in one. There's one topic is handwriting, which has become very, very popular. Last year, there was lots of questions about pens and pencils. And this year, it seems students are saying they're getting asked questions about handwriting, also texting again, text messages. So it's an interesting topic. To begin this topic, I'd like to ask you a question. I'm going to show you a short video again, and I'd like to ask you, what different kinds of writing can you see in this video? Right? That's the question. What different kinds of writing can you see in this video? Okay. Here we go. Here's the video. And surprise, surprise, Apple has stolen it and put it in the cloud. So we have to wait for a second. Dum. Nice, good. So different kinds of writing. Kamaljit says calligraphy. Calligraphy. Yes, that's right. It's not quite spelt like that. It's spelt like this with a P, right? Calligraphy. Great. Calligraphy. What else have we got? Anything else? Typing, very good. Rabia Tirmazi says typing. Good. There's lots of Uzbeks here, that's right. Chinese writing, you could say. Calligraphy art, yeah. Oh, now Dilpreet, this is interesting because you're talking about styles of writing as in the content, right? Narrative, analytic, this is the content. But I'm actually focusing on the way that we write. Okay. You can all see calligraphy, Korean, Chinese. Notes, okay. We can talk about notes, taking notes, note taking. Good, great. Typing, that's right. Making notes, excellent. All of those. Brilliant, good. So there are different things we can say here. Let's have a look. What different kinds of writing can we see? There is calligraphy. We can talk about writing with a pen, right? Writing by hand. Taking notes, making notes, jotting down notes. That's a nice expression, right? Jotting down notes. It's a good way of expressing it. Typing. You've talked about typing, but be really careful. Notice the prepositions. Typing with a keyboard, typing on a keyboard. Of course, we can say typing on a computer as well. Yep. Make a note of the prepositions because I am going to test you at the end of the lesson. Dun, dun, dun. So, typing on a computer, texting, right? There was somebody there on their mobile phone texting. Okay, those are all different kinds of writing that we've got. Some interesting and useful vocabulary talking about writing. Now, there's also, actually, I forgot to add, cursive writing. So cursive writing is when you write with a pen and the letters are connected, so the letters are joined up, that's cursive writing. The letters are joined, so it's not print writing or printed writing. Okay, because print, the letters are separate. In cursive, the letters are connected. So we can talk about cursive writing. Print, of course, the good thing about print is it's more legible. And handwriting might be illegible. Legible, that's an essential word on this topic, right? Legible. Can you say that with me? Legible. Legible. J-j-j-bull. Legible. Print is more legible. Nice. Handwriting might be illegible. Yeah, good. Nice pronunciation. Good. So legible means you can read it. Legible. And the negative, if a word begins with L, then the negative prefix, we call it, is IL, illegible. So it's double L, right? Illegible. Now, just as a side note, there are a lot of words. Actually, no, that's not true. Not a lot of words. There are some words that are worth learning, which mean you can do it or you can't do it. So I'm going to share a few with you here. It seems like a good moment to do it. Something that, let me do this with you, something that you can drink, right? You can drink it. We don't say drinkable. We have a special word for that. Let me see if anybody knows what we say. If something is drinkable, what do we say? Wow, Harwinder, you are on the ball. Well done. Yes, potable, right? Potable, exactly. Well done. A lot of you have got that. So remember, something that you can drink, then we would say that it's potable. What about something that you can eat? You can eat it. What would we say? What's the correct word here? Something is, you can eat it. Oh, there's an interesting word here. Somebody said palatable. Where did that go? Oh, it's gone. It's gone. Sorry, I've lost you. Okay, we've got the most common word, I think, is this one. This is the best word, is edible. Marilyn says edible. Saurabh says palatable, right? So edible means it's safe to eat. It's not poisonous, it's safe. Palatable means that the taste is good, is acceptable, right? So you can eat it, we would say that it's edible. You can read it, we've said, is legible. You can hear it, what about you can hear it? What would we say? Yeah, we don't say no. What do we say? Anybody? Not readable? No. Oh, Niraj, I think you've got it. Well done. Audible. Audible, right? Something you can hear, then it's audible. Something you can see is, what would you say? Something you can see? The. Oh, you've got it. Lots of you have got it. I've just realised my comments are loading very, very slowly. Well done. Yes. I can't pick you out because it's gone too fast. Never mind. Absolutely right. It is visible. So just interesting, useful to know. I think these are useful words to be aware of, to use the correct one when you're speaking. Okay, there's this topic of graphology. Now, graphology is an interesting topic. It's the study of the meaning of writing, right? So graphology is the study of your handwriting. And apparently, your handwriting, the way that you write, can tell a lot about you. Now, I have never studied graphology, but apparently it can tell whether you're outgoing, introvert, confident, shy, aggressive, happy, just by looking at your handwriting, apparently. They can do that. So we say handwriting can reveal a lot. Can reveal a lot about a person. Another really good expression, handwriting speaks volumes about a person. Volume, very high sound. If it speaks volumes about you, then it says a lot about you. It reveals a lot about you. So handwriting speaks volumes about a person. Or you can say the way you write says a lot about you. It says a lot about you. So we can say reveal, speaks volumes, says, right? All of these things. About graphology, I wonder, has anybody out there studied graphology? Have any of you studied graphology? Yeah, it's about your personality. Yep, exactly. Style of writing, here we go. Style of writing can tell personalities. That's right. But my handwriting can change if I'm in a hurry. It couldn't reveal my personality. No, but it reveals you're in a hurry. Right? Hello, Carrie. Even a signature can tell about the personality. Yeah, your signature can reveal something about your personality. And apparently handwriting signifies the way of thinking. Without the two, but yes, great, Khaled. It signifies the way of thinking. Or we can say our handwriting shows our personality. Yes. Let me add that one up there then. Reveal or show a lot about personality. Excellent, lovely. What else have we got? Did you know handwriting, right? Handwriting analysis is used to screen and recruit people. So to recruit people, HR companies use it. The police use it to capture criminals. And apparently also in the health sector, it's used to make a health analysis or diagnosis sometimes. So they say, so they say. Yes, the length and curves matter. Good. The length of the letter and the curves. Lovely language, Marilyn. Very, very nice. Yes. Great. Well, Marilyn, you're obviously an expert, right? You divide the handwriting into 3 horizontal bands. I didn't know that. Great. Okay, excellent. Some good things here. Oh, HN, I studied for 6 years. Really? Graphology? Tell us more. Handwriting enhances creativity. Well, also, they say the study of handwriting can enhance creativity as well. Very, very true. Very, very interesting. I'm going to ask you a question then. Let's see what you say to this question. Zara, just take you off. Do you agree, right? Can you tell someone's personality from his or her handwriting? Really? What do you think? Can you tell someone's personality from his or her handwriting? Remember, part 1. Question. Mm-hmm. Right. Good. Okay. I've just realized there is a big lag with the messages and the comments, but not to worry. Handwriting is a window to someone's mind. Yes. Angie says, I would say to some extent. Yes. Carrie, a person who has a small letterings can tell that he or she is an introvert. Yeah. A person who has not letterings, I would say letters. Small size letters. Because small letters are the little letters, right? Not capital, but little. But we talk about small size letters. A person who has small-sized letters, can tell he or she is an introvert. Good. Yes. Yes, indeed. It reveals a lot about the person's character. And Issa says, frankly, I can't do that, but I believe some people might have done that. Good answer, right? I've never thought about it, really. Keep talking. Never go silent. Nice. Good. Amy says, in my personal view, if you are not a professional, it is difficult to tell their true personality. Right, yes. In my personal view. Yeah, nice. Good. That's very, very true. And apparently you can't learn it just from one sentence or one word. You have to look at the context as well, I think. I'm by no means an expert, but it seems that's the case. Nur Sultan says, researchers said that people who have illegible handwriting, their brain works smarter. Really? Their brain works smarter. Maybe their brain works more smartly. Maybe they are smarter. Possibly. Okay. Good. Handwriting. I've just realized the time. Holy moly. Time is moving on. So we've looked at concentration, focus. We've looked at museums. We've looked at handwriting, texting a little bit. But we're going to have to move now. So, I'm going to move on to the next and final topic, which, if you've been here before, I'm sure you know probably what the final topic is going to be, right? Do you remember what the final topic is? The final topic. You're absolutely right. The final topic is Kahoot. This is the second but last topic. We still have one more. We're going to do sample answers. I'm going to take a couple of questions, sample answers, and try and give you an answer. So this is your opportunity to choose a different part one topic. So please choose a part one topic and ask me a question. And I will try and give a sample answer for that question, right? Any part one topic that you would like us to look at. So let's have a look. I would suggest a different topic from you can choose the same topic if you like, or you can change a different topic. Part two, right? Sorry, part one, not part two. Some of you are writing part two. Part one. Da, 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 da. Okay, let me see. Right, okay, this is interesting. There is a topic about friends. There's one about reading. Movies, yeah. Okay. Okay, let's try this one. It's on the same topic, but it's fine. I think this is a good question. Yeah. Do you think computers might one day replace handwriting? Okay, so just bear with me. Let me put this up here. And let me take your thank you, V Tao Kwok. So it's a part 1 question, right? So it's a fairly short answer. Let me just turn off that logo. Do you think computers might one day replace handwriting? Okay, give me 20 seconds. I'll just speak for 20 seconds. It's a very interesting question. I think that it's unlikely computers will completely replace handwriting, although it's the norm nowadays for people to communicate by typing on a computer or texting. I still think a lot of people like to write by hand because it's more expressive, it has a personal touch, and many people are able to kind of reveal their personality through their handwriting, whereas typing can be quite cold and aloof. Ooh, right, aloof. What's aloof? Go and look it up on Google, aloof. Aloof means to be cold and distant. Right, brilliant. Nice question. Great. Okay, going to take a slightly different question here. How do you usually spend your weekends? Yes, weekends is a good topic. It's a nice one. Okay. So, thank you, Kinwood Yi. Kinwood Yi, you were there on the video. That's right. Well done. Really nice. Question mark. How do you usually spend your weekends? Well, to be honest, nowadays, my weekends are a bit monotonous. On Saturday mornings, I tend to work, but then in the afternoons, I like to go for a stroll around the park with my family, but only for a short time because of the confinement. We're not allowed to spend a lot of time outdoors. So unfortunately, yeah, my weekends can be rather boring. Not as exciting as they used to be. Yeah. Good. Nice. Take one on museums. Okay. This is nice. Now, this is one of those questions, right, that there are sometimes in part 1, you get questions and you think, that sounds like a part 3 question. But sometimes the last 1 or 2 questions in part 1 are similar to part 3. The thing to remember, Chandima, thank you very much. The thing to remember is just don't develop it for a minute. Talk for a shorter amount of time, right? It's a short answer. Great. How can we make museums interesting for children? Well, I think there's a myriad of ways we can make museums more attractive for children. And I would say one of the principal ways is to give children an interactive experience so that they are doing things when they're in the museum. Because if they're just reading something and looking at different artifacts, they're not really engaging with the whole experience. Whereas the kind of interactive experience, maybe also integrating technology, will be much more appealing for children. Right, nice, good, very nice. Part 1, the very short answers, aren't they? Good. One more. Oh, yeah. I think this topic has been, some students have told me about this topic as well. Happiness is a very big topic. Okay, I'll do a quick one on happiness and then we'll all disappear. We'll all go away. Great. Sudi, thank you very much. What makes you happy? To be honest, happiness for me is finishing work early, going into the kitchen where I like to dabble and cook up one of my favorite dishes. For me, cooking is really therapeutic, and it really relaxes me and makes me very happy. But what makes me the happiest of all is sharing the meal with my family or friends after I've cooked it. Right, there you go. 3 to 4 sentences, 10 to 15 seconds, part 1 questions. Make them short. I think as much as vocabulary and idioms, I don't think too much about that. In part 1, I think more about being natural, just giving a natural answer, right? The examiner is looking for the examiner is looking for a natural answer, and your ability to speak out and develop a little bit, but not too much. Right. Thank you very much for your questions. That is brilliant. I am going to finish up with a very quick game of Kahoot because, as I promised you, we're going to review the vocabulary that we've seen to see how many of you have been awake. Have you been on the ball? Are you on your toes? What have you been doing? Let's find out. Let me jump into Kahoot. Now, for those of you who are new, you may be thinking, what is Kahoot? Kahoot is a simple way for us to play a game together, and through the game, we get to practice and review the vocabulary or some of the vocabulary that we've seen. So what you will need to do, if you're on a computer, you can go to the website kahoot.it. If you're on a phone, you can go to the website, or there's a mobile app, and I will be asking you questions and you choose multiple choice, right? Let me show you. We're going to go in. Let me show you where we are on the website. So here you are. Get ready to join. You'll need to join at www.kahoot.it. Can you see that? www.kahoot.it. The PIN is 3615858. Come in and join us. We've got 4 questions, and let's see how much you have remembered today. I'll just give you a few seconds to get in. And let's see if you enjoy the music, or does it distract you? Can you stay focused with this music? Dun, 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 dun. So just to remind you, part 1, in my video on Saturday, I will be doing some more topics for part 1 that you can also have a look at, and to help you get ready for your exam if it's coming up in the coming weeks. Right, excellent. How many people have we got in? We've got quite a lot, yeah? That's great. So let me just work out blah, blah, blah. Hey? Excuse me. Right, let's start. Let's get going. Part 1 topics. I can't focus well. I have a short attention blank. I can't focus well. I have a short attention blank. If you're not in Kahoot, just type your answer in the chat box. Ooh, some good answers here. Nice. Ria, Manu, Aman, well done. Ooh, 103 of you. Very, very good. Span, a short attention span. Right? An attention span means you cannot focus for a long time. Well done. Scoreboard. B is at the top. Hiru, number 2, and Kainwood Yi, number 3. Well done. Let's move on. Next question. Multi-select, so you can choose two, right? Choose two answers. Museums are full of interesting blank. Remember, choose two. Select two. Museums are full of interesting blanks. Artifacts, artichokes, artifacts, art displays. Only two of them are correct. So choose the correct two. Angelique, well done. Yo-Yo Asami, well done. Remember, choose two. You've still got 20 seconds. Carrie, well done. Raghav, good, nice. Okay, 5 seconds left. Oh, very, very nice. I am very impressed. Artifacts, spelt correctly, and art displays. Of course, artichokes is a kind of food, and artifacts is just facts about art, which is not right here. Well done. Where are we on the scoreboard? Oh, Keith with hair. First in, well done. Eddie has come in second and Sue has come in third. Next question. Your handwriting blank volumes about you. Do you remember? Your handwriting blank volumes about you. So, what have we got here? Oh dear. We've got a lot of mistakes here. Right, excellent, good. Your handwriting speaks volumes about you, yes? I think some of you got confused with the tell. It tells a lot about you, right? Your handwriting tells a lot about you. It tells a lot, but it speaks volumes. So that is a fixed expression. Speaks volumes about. That's fixed. You can't change it. Right. Well done. Nice. Let's see if I am still at the top. Yeah, look at that. I am leading. I am the winner. Sue is moved up to second. Eddie is in third. Let's find out. I think it's the last question. I can't read this. It is blank. I can't read this. It is blank. Shamakini, lovely. I love your sentence. Nice practice. Angelique, nice. Good answer. Mita, well done. Mazroor and Sari, good answer. The answer is illegible, and 145 of you, 145, that is fantastic. 145 of you got it correct. Well done. Illegible, right? So remember, if it begins with an L, then probably the prefix will be IL, illegible. I can't read it. A bit like the doctor's note, as many of you told me. So, who is the winner? Well, third place, Anne. Oh no, second, seriously? So first, Eddie. Well done, Eddie. Nice. Lovely. I thought I was going to win. But Eddie is the winner. Eddie, well done. Really, really good. So nice to see so many of you getting the right answer and getting it right. That is brilliant. Good. So that brings us to the end. It's been a long session today. I apologize. I've kept you here for a long time. It's a bit like being like at school, right? When the teacher, if you were naughty or bad or behaved badly, the teacher would keep you behind for a long time at the end of class. I have kept you for an hour and 40 minutes. I'm sorry about that, but it's good for you. I hope you've enjoyed the lesson and that you've learned some new vocabulary about the topics of concentration, focus, museum. We've done also handwriting, texts, talked about a bit about weekends and other topics. So look out for the video. Let me see, just to remind you, the video, if you're on YouTube, remember to turn on the notifications so you can find out about the video on Saturday, which will be more part 1 topics, something to look forward to. If you want to carry on practicing, find a speaking partner, exchange ideas and get some motivation. Come and join us in the Facebook group. There's a lot going on, and I think it can be quite helpful and useful to keep you motivated and be in a community of other students who are preparing for IELTS, although we get a lot of students who've finished IELTS, but they stay there and they're, also helping out. So come and join us. As I mentioned, the notes to today will be on the website, and that's just what I was trying to show you before. If you go to the Keith Speaking Academy later today, in about 4 or 5 hours, go to the free live lessons, and you will be able to download today's lesson and all the past lessons that we've had. You can get all the notes: ambition, big topic; animals, popular topic; books. It goes on and on. So you can find all the materials that you need here on the website. Excellent. Nice. And I think that's it from me. Thank you for joining me today. It's been a pleasure, as always, seeing you. I look forward to seeing you next Thursday for the next class. Next Thursday, then, I think we'll look at part 2 cue cards. We'll look at part 2 topics, and we'll discuss, some ideas, tips for part 2, and some vocabulary and language for different topics in part 2. Right? Does that sound good? I hope so. Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure as always. Stay safe. If you're having the test this weekend, good luck. I hope it goes really, really well. Remember, my number 1 tip: think, I'm going to enjoy this test, and see what happens. That's it, my friends. Take care. Have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you very, very soon. Cheerio. Bye-bye.